What's up, YouTube? Back again with another video of a different sort of handgun. Today we're going to talk about the Steyr M9. This is a Steyr Mannlicher produced handgun. Kind of a little bit different. It's kind of neat. They are gaining somewhat popularity. They've actually started importing these back into the country again. But again, it's one of those probably not going to take off that fantastic. These have come in and gone, different importers every time. This one here is a Gen 1 model. You can tell because it actually has a kind of a cool, well, I say that, coolish, if it were, safety. Yes, a gun with a safety. I know, I said I don't like these, but this is a passive safety device, kind of like a, almost like a Mini 14 or a Ruger style, except instead of being up here on the front, it's right here. So, kind of cool. Apparently, one of the guys that helped design the Glock then went on to work on this, and then went on to work with the Caracal, and which isn't saying very much, actually, because we all know how the Caracals turned out, and if you don't, look that tragedy up. Again, this one here is chambered in 9mm. This is mainly produced to actually be a 40 Smith & Wesson originally. Again, I'm not a big fan of 40, so I bought this one in 9. Quite honestly, I got this gun for cheap, and it's the only reason I bought it. One of the biggest things about this, when you pick it up initially, you're like, wow, this gun feels awesome. If you look at it, it kind of sits really far back in your hand, and you can see how deep that palm swell is. The problem is, the more you hold it, you start to realize, it just doesn't quite feel right. What is going on? And you're like, oh, okay, there's a huge hump right here. Feels cool when you first pick it up. Feels cool when you hold it kind of soft in your hand. But the minute you start to reach down to really grab it, you really start to feel this palm right here in the web of your hand. Again, maybe I just have child hands or something and it shouldn't bother me, but it does. This one too, again, being a Gen 1, was super slick. So I went ahead and stippled it up. Make it a little bit more grippy. I didn't get too crazy like I do with the Glocks, where I fill them out all the way. One of the big things about this one, and yes, this gun is clear, as you can see, it's got a triangle front sight. Let me see if I can get you guys in on that one there. Kind of a neat design. You can see the back sights are actually angled as well, and it's kind of like an XS Big Dot or your other Big Dot sights. It's pretty neat. It is a little odd when you pick it up to first shoot it, but the one thing about that big triangle front sight is it doesn't take long. You know, within about a mag, you're really kind of getting comfortable again. And that's, you know, not shooting it for a while, picking it up and going to shoot again. The one thing about it is you do tend to shoot for the top of the triangle. So you're kind of running not quite a 6 o'clock hold, but it's right in there. It is a nice gun. It's got a decent trigger to it. Like I said, the big thing here is this guy here, just after a while, just kind of wears on me comfort-wise. But overall, it is a really well-made gun. Obviously, in the newer ones, they got rid of this proprietary light mount, and they're using a standard pick rail system to it, which is nice. It actually makes it more of a usable gun. And you can pick up these guys brand new for about 450 bucks. And you're not going to beat the quality. It's Steyr. Steyr makes extremely good quality firearms. It's just their pistols aren't, they're not like massively popular here. You know, Steyr makes military weapons. The AUG is probably the most famous one. The HS-50, I actually had one of those for a little bit, and that was a fantastic 50 cal, and that thing was accurate as balls. Of course, Steyr is one of the oldest names in firearms. It's one of those that's just, this gun never really took off and became super popular. Again, I don't know if it's just the quirks behind it. The support behind it wasn't that great. Steyr actually, on their part, is actually covering all of the older import guns, as far as I know, for any sort of warranty issues. So, you know, if you guys have any major warranties or need some parts, they're covering all that. Again, there were some different importers for these guys back in the day. As far as shooting characteristics, it is a soft shooting. It's a really nice pointable handgun. Like I said, the biggest thing is just getting used to that sight picture. If you don't like Glocks, okay, you're really not going to like this gun. we look at this guy, for example, you can see how it's got straight base, but you can see how you still kind of roll with a curled down wrist, because obviously your hand naturally turns forward into it. So it's actually more natural for your hand to be in this position than it is like that in a 1911. But this guy really just starts to dip in there. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but it starts to kick in pretty hard. And like I said, you can really see that indent right there. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera. It's not that terrific, but that's my only really biggest thing with that guy is, again, it's got like a Ruger, not the grip or anything, but like when you first pick up like an SR9, you're like, damn, that's a comfortable gun. And then it's kind of like, it's not that great. Same thing. It's comfy at first, but you know, again, not just to stick with the Glock, but obviously, you know, I like the way that feels. I like the SIGs too. Again, more straight up and down. I mean, this is a 225. Again, you can see it's got a bridge part, but this one's a lot straighter. And you know, again, you're running a much higher bore axis on this gun, so obviously that's the thing with the SIG, is the high bore axis, where you'll notice with the Glock, it drops down. It's got a nice low bore axis to it. You can see how much lower it sits in your hand. This guy even lower. I mean, it is just, I mean, you're talking right there. Again, it just, for me personally, it just falls short on just the way it overall feels. I also don't like this really heavy arched trigger guard here, because your finger just, you know, you naturally push up high back on this side, and then all of a sudden it just pushes the rest of your hand down, because it just doesn't quite sit in there. I mean, that's one of those you could probably mill it out, like on a lot of Glocks, you know, you'll wash out right here, but I don't care enough about this to do that. You know, it's a fun gun to show people, let them shoot it. Oh, hey, this is kind of unique. It's a little bit different option. Again, just another alternative, different handgun to think about. Like I said, you can get these directly from Steyr now. They are importing them. Again, they're also bringing the AUGs back in again. And they brought these alongside with them. You know, next time you go to the gun show, check them out. Again, they're going for a really nice price. Obviously, you can find the older ones like this guy ranging anywhere from, you know, $300, give or take. At one point, CD&N was selling these dudes for like $275. I think it was something crazy low. But one thing, a caveat to that: magazines, extremely expensive. You know, $30, $40 even. Sometimes, yeah, you can get them for cheaper than that, but it's not going to be like a nice Glock bag. You can pick one up for $20 and call it a day. So that's pretty much it for me. Thank you very much, and have a great day.